What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. In case you don't know, Tasty Tuesday is a show where we talk about gaming news of the prior week. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And we got an episode full of cancellations. Apparently, a lot of things weren't working out, and they're all going away. So let's start off with the first cancellation in the news we got today.
Okay, well, for our first topic, the Coleco Chameleon, which was going to be a retro-based console that people could make new indie retro games for, is actually been terminated. The company they had partnered with, which I believe was Retro VGS, had nothing to demonstrate at this time, and Coleco had to say that they had to unfortunately cancel the project. So,
We actually covered this before, right, on a
Yes.
Tasty Tuesday? And we were both kind of like optimistic about it. I thought it was kind of cool sounding, but not really. You know, we're not the consumers for this, really. I don't think either of us were really too interested in getting it.
right.
But it is kind of a drag to hear that they're canceling it. It makes sense, though, because, I mean, like, I really didn't think there's a future with it anyway. But, and also with emulation, stuff like that, it was cool that you'd be able to make games for it, though.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, that's a bummer. I mean, the idea of a new console was exciting no matter what to me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That sucks, in my opinion. What do you think on that?
I mean, it does suck. It was neat that they were essentially, just to recap what they were doing. They're making a cartridge-based system that you could play retro style games on, and then allow people to also bring their games to it really easily. But it sounds like they were in a partnership with someone.
Yeah.
And the timing just didn't work out, and it probably just started becoming too expensive.
They lost funding, yeah.
So, I mean, that sucks. Like you said, I mean, I obviously am I like the new console stuff because, I mean, like I said before, I bought an Ouya to try it out.
It was exciting.
I probably would have bought this just to try it out. I mean, probably wouldn't have played it all the time, but, you know, neat toy.
If it was at a fair price point,
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a cool toy to have, for sure. But yeah, it's a bummer. It's too bad it didn't work out. Maybe they can get funding later. It's doubtful, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace, Coleco Chameleon.
Chameleon, yep.
And on to the next topic. For a second bit of news, Sony has come out and said that the PlayStation VR will not be as powerful as the Oculus Rift. They said that you're not going to need a super high-end PC for this, though. It's going to work on all PS4s, of course, and it's kind of meant for a broader audience. Obviously, you can go with the Oculus if you want that higher-end experience, but this well, they say it's more for everyday use, so it has to be easy to use and it has to be affordable. I think that's the biggest thing too, is the affordability price point.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to be able to sell this to everyone who has the console already. Whereas the Oculus is absolutely niche at this point.
Yeah.
It's for people who are looking for that crazy fucking experience. It is the best at what it does from what I've heard everywhere, but yeah, it makes complete sense to me, especially on the price point. What do you think about this?
I mean, I agree with that, especially the price point. A person who goes out and buys a $400 console is not looking to buy an $800 peripheral for it.
Definitely.
They did state before that they wanted that console price, so probably a $300 to $400 accessory. The Oculus is $800, I think.
600.
600. Okay,
Yeah.
Still, that's an accessory to your PC, which has to meet really high requirements.
Yeah.
You're talking over $1,000 right there.
Well, and the PC already can handle higher graphics anyway. The PS4 has a cap on what it can do
Right.
graphically, so I mean, like, they can kind of lower that a bit anyway for whatever experience they're trying to create. And I'm sure that's going to implement a lot of games they already have anyway.
Yeah, well, and I actually read today that Ubisoft has an Assassin's Creed VR project in the works. So
That's funny because that works with the whole Animus thing and all
Yeah.
that shit. So that's
That'll be
kind of
cool.
cool. Yeah. I still think Rocket League would be fucking fantastic in VR, though, and the game's not technically that amazing looking.
Right.
And I think it'd be amazing if you could, like, sit and spectate in the audience and watch at Rocket League.
that would be interesting. Or any sports game for
Just
that matter.
any esports,
Yeah.
watching from the audience with your VR, like, watching the ball fly around shit. It'd be fucking awesome.
That is an interesting prospect. I mean, I'm not a Madden fan, but imagine, like, you know, you can already spectate people on, like, the PlayStation or on Steam. You can, like, go, hey, let me watch your gameplay. and
Oh, change
but
Twitch.
instead of watching literally what they're doing, be sitting in the audience. That's a pretty neat idea, actually.
Well, yeah, like if you're watching like your friend play,
Yeah.
but like he's controlling whole teams, so you're actually like watching two teams like
watching a football game
going at each other. Yeah,
yeah.
fucking awesome. I mean, I don't like spectating people in video games ever. Like it's boring to me.
Yeah.
But and I'm not knocking anyone who does that. Just I'm not into it. But I would be way more interested in if I could do that.
Yeah.
Or even like an FPS, being able to like be mounted on the guy's head, but be able to look around in VR as he's like shooting and stuff. Even though I could see ways you could exploit that.
Right.
Like, you know, talking to your friends about, oh, to your right, blah, blah, blah. But
Well, imagine that, like, even like, sorry, we're getting a little off topic.
Yeah.
But random thought.
VR is the future, and I'm excited for it.
Rally sports racing. You have the guy with the map and the guy driving.
It'd be fucking awesome if you could.
You're
like,
just in there
Yeah.
as the passenger while the guy's focusing
That'd
on
be
driving.
awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So
because then you're just in the car, like, and if it's VR, you can feel the shaking stuff.
Yeah.
There's that GIF recently where it showed a dude doing like the Portal VR thing.
yeah.
And like he's on the floor and he opens this thing and he goes to put his head through the floor,
Yeah,
but he
man.
can't because there's the fucking floor there. I'm excited for it. But yeah, overall, I don't think this is a bad thing. I like that they're transparent. Sony's fucking killing it with communication. I never expected it to be as powerful as the Oculus.
Right.
And they're not pretending it is, but there's valid reasons why it's not that as powerful. First off, the capabilities of the console, but secondly, they want this in everybody's house.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm definitely fucking buying one. I'll have both at some point. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts on that.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So
All right. Let us know in the comments what you guys think on this topic. And on to the next topic.
Microsoft has recently come out and said they are going to open up Xbox Live to allow multiplayer over cross-platforms, including PC and other online services. This hints towards PlayStation 4 and Steam, as an example. The first game they want to do this with is with Rocket League, and it is completely up to the other platforms if they want to join in on this. I know another thing they're going to put into this is they want to also give people the option to opt out of this and play just with Xbox players if they would like to. What do you think of Microsoft coming out and opening up Xbox Live for the first time in 3 consoles?
It's crazy, and it's all I've been seeing lately is them fucking finally doing what people want them to do.
Yeah.
Their ego, their pride is fucking crumbling because they're not doing as well as the other guy, and they're finally just starting to go, hey, maybe we can do this. There's no technical reason why we couldn't do it. We're just fucking, we want to do that. So I think it's cool. It feels late for it, but it's something that I think would be great. I think communities and games will benefit from that. I also think it's interesting too that they're not trying to get their games connected with PS4 per se, but they are opening an invite, saying, hey, we can have our servers together, which I think would be great for games that have smaller communities anyway per console, because then you combine those communities and it makes it
Doubles it.
it makes it better, which is great. That benefits all of us who own the consoles. It's not about the console war at that point anymore. It's just about
playing games,
making everyone fucking enjoy their fucking game. The opting out thing I think is really interesting, because if you were to play an FPS with someone on PC, they're gonna fucking wreck you. So being able to opt out of that is a good thing. It also makes people who bought the Xbox and maybe are more of a fan than other people and have a bias, they can go, oh, I only want to play with people on Xbox Live. I think that's dumb, but
the option's there.
The option's there, which is great. Options are good. Overall, I think it's awesome, and I really hope this works out. I think Rocket League is a great game to start with because it already has a really big community, and I think it only benefits it to grow it even more. What do you think?
Same page. I have examples of games that this would completely benefit as well. Would be like Destiny, The Division, Warframe. I mean, doubling those communities, especially the big problem like with Warframe is I always like wondering why this co-op game can't cross-platform with PC, and I realize it's because the updates don't work the same.
They're ahead, yeah.
But it does work the same on Xbox. So it would literally create a larger community. You'd still be playing the same game. You're getting all the same content at the same time.
Do you think they'd have to sync the updates, though?
They come out at the same time anyways.
They do?
They have the same update schedules on console.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If not, I'm sure
I would love more people in Warframe on
yeah,
console.
that would be great. I mean, there's just way too many options for this. I know PlayStation has done this since, I believe, PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, could be PS3, but they've always had that availability to connect to PC stuff. The developers usually just don't do it.
So. Well, that's also something that they said they were going to do too. Is they're not going to tell people to do it. They're going to allow developers to do it. Yep. They're just going to open the service up, which I think is cool because the developer is the one thinking about the consumer and what they want and what they want to allow them to have. And so, if they got a game like Destiny or The Division where they want to, even if the game's been out for a while and the communities are starting to like trickle and die down, they can just merge them.
Well, it's funny because this isn't
We've seen it in
technically
MMOs.
the first time Microsoft done this. Because on the Xbox 360, Final Fantasy 11 played with
Which is
PC
so
and
weird.
PlayStation people, but that was something Square had to do on their own.
And the Shadowrun FPS, which was fucking weird, played with PC, which is really
weird.
interesting. You had to have games with gold or live or not gold.
You'd have live for PC.
Live for PC, yeah, which is weird. And it was weird having an FPS be one of the first ones they did that with because PC, of course, is going to do better than on that. But I don't know. I think it's awesome. I think it's really progressive of them to be thinking that way. I know for a long time they're like, we're not going to put a Blu-ray player in our fucking console. Well, guess what? You had to.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck else you're going to do. Your HD thing
DVD.
didn't work out. So, you just got to swallow the ego sometimes and do what's best for everybody. So.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next topic. In our last bit of news, in cancellation news, two companies are actually canceling games, and one of them is actually going away. Lionhead Studios, the creators of Fable and I believe the Black and White series back in the day, are actually being shut down, and Fable Legends is being canceled, which is crazy also because this was one of the games that the Xbox One needed.
One of their first party games.
Yeah. Which actually looked okay. I wasn't too pumped on it, but I mean, it looked kind of cool. And then, in the same vein, Daybreak Studios, the creators of the Everquest series and Everquest Next, have said that they are canceling Everquest Next, which is super fucking disappointing to me, as I was super hyped for it. But yeah, I believe that they're closing down Lionhead because they're just not really. The production costs and them not really making anything is getting in the way. But with Daybreak, they're fine, but they're stopping EverQuest because where they said that they've done some great feats in technology, and I guess insiders in the gaming community have been just really stoked about what they're doing game-wise. I guess the game itself was just not fun. Similar to what we saw with the original Doom 4.
I was going to say Doom.
Yeah. So I know it's a lot to take in, but let's break it down. What do you think about Lionhead and the cancellation of Fable Legends?
This is kind of a bummer. Anytime studio closes down, it sucks as people losing their jobs. I know Sony said they're going to hold a job fair for the Lionhead employees, though.
Which is awesome.
A representative from every single first-party Sony company is going to be at this job fair. So these people are going to have chances to still work, which is great.
That's them sniping fucking talent.
Yeah.
It's really cool they're doing that. It's awesome they're offering that because they're all fucking like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do now. But also at the same time, like, that's just them fucking putting another nail in that coffin, which is scary.
Now, here's the crappy part, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate for this, but that company has never made, in my opinion, a fully realized game.
Yeah.
Black and White, lots of cool ideas. Not that fun to play after a while. Fable 1, though a lot of people would argue this is the best Fable game.
Fable 2, I think a lot of people would argue.
Yeah, but same thing. Like, a lot of cool ideas, a lot of nothing being accomplished.
Well, aside from personal bias, the Black and White series is super fucking highly acclaimed and was very popular. Fable also was very popular to the point where they went like Activision and ran into the ground.
Yeah.
And then they also kind of deviated from it with this Legends thing and just kind of changing everything up. But the big thing, though, the big turning point for me, and this not being a huge surprise to me, is the whole Peter Molyneux thing when he left.
Yeah.
because he was kind of the figurehead of it. The guy who fucking could talk up everything. And once he left, it seemed like they kind of changed where they're going with their games. And even though he is kind of an ambiguator, I feel like he still had a lot of ideas, even if they didn't get realized. When I saw Fable Legends coming out, I was like, oh, why are they making that? Like, it doesn't look bad, but, like, why are they doing that? Like, why aren't they trying to make new games or make a new Fable? They would totally sell. Like,
right.
I know 3 didn't do as well as 2, but they could have fixed that. So am I surprised that this is happening? Really? Like, yeah, it is, because it's such a legendary fucking company. But at the same time, like, they've been making bad moves constantly.
Right.
And I think that's just a small chunk of the overall Microsoft and Xbox One way that they've been going lately.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to, and I don't mean to say that the company was a bad company. They did a lot of things very well. Like I said, there was a lot of great ideas there, and even in execution, a lot of stuff was great. I enjoyed playing the Fable games, but I never found myself loving the Fable games. I always felt like something was missing. All 3 of them. So
yeah, they're always really casual RPGs. I mean, like, they're fun, but, like, I never got sucked into them. I didn't need to fucking keep playing
right.
them. They're missing some kind of deeper gameplay element. But like you said earlier, any company shutting down sucks. It's horrible to hear about companies shutting down because there's less games being made then, and people without jobs. That sucks. These guys are all talented, so hopefully they find jobs with Sony or whoever the hell else. But then again, Daybreak Studio, where I have to reemphasize they're fine. They said they're going to keep supporting EverQuest and EverQuest 2 because I guess they're doing great. They essentially just said, though, that they didn't go on with EverQuest Next because it wasn't fun. I think they got really caught up in the tech of it, which was the part I was excited about. But after playing it, they just said that it really didn't have the soul that they wanted, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
it's better than them trying to release something that fucking sucks just to make a buck. Super disappointing, but
I doubt they'll let that tech go to waste, though.
I hope not, because I played Landmark, EverQuest Landmark, and it wasn't really quite a game, but it kind of showed off the technology, and it was neat. It was cool. It was like Minecraft. It looked better. It had RPG and MMO elements in it. So I would love for them to not give up and maybe take a step back, think of a new idea, learn from their mistakes from making EverQuest Next, and make a new EverQuest, because they're going to have to make one eventually anyway. The prospect of being able to actually change the world, though, was something I feel like MMOs fucking need.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you with a lot of that. I really am not surprised that they're fine with EverQuest 1 and 2. I mean, at this point, EverQuest 1 is pure profit, I'm sure. The service probably costs nothing to run now.
Probably.
You know, we talked about this before, you know, when I was saying Final Fantasy 11 is like one of probably the most profitable things that Square has, because they don't have to put any money in that game hardly anymore. So
yeah,
same idea. I really do look forward to seeing what these guys make, though. They obviously have really grand ideas, and they know when a product they're making just isn't going to be a quality product. That shows it obviously it sucks, but it shows integrity.
Absolutely.
Great. So.
They're more worried about the fan base and what they put out than making a buck, and I can always respect that.
Well, I even remember when EverQuest 2 was coming out. It's one of the first MMOs, full-fledged voice acting. But it was a huge deal. Plus, the game had like moving flora and stuff like that. And
it's one of the best looking MMOs that came out at the time.
And they're really good at doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I really do.
They take pride in it for sure.
I definitely look forward to whatever project they decide to work on next.
Yeah, me too. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Were you excited for those games? Did you not even care about them? Let us know. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Taste Tuesday on Taste Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Check out our many other episodes. And check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Taste Loot Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. Quick reminder to be playing Galaxy and Broforce. These are the free PlayStation Plus games that we'll be playing or talking about on Plus Club at the end of the month. All over the place. But yeah, thanks for watching. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Just the Tip on Stardew Valley.
Yes.
So check us out there, and we'll see you then. Take it easy, guys.